the songwriter for you two, also Adam Clayton, who's the bass player, to talk about the band. And first of all, we went back to their origins. Oh yes, really we did, yes.
Well, we started just before what was known as that 76 explosion, and we, like a lot of people in London, were fed up with this sort of, seemed to be very easygoing, lack of heart to the music. And I had been listening to early Stones, that sort of thing, High Tide, Green Grass. We were trying to express ourselves. The thing in Dublin at the moment was to play cover versions of other things, but we couldn't play cover versions, so we started writing our own material out of necessity. We would have been, I was 16 then, Larry was 15, like we were very young. And I think it was our youth that helped the rise in Dublin, because when we would play in a bar or whatever, our audience would be locked outside because they'd be underage, and that caused a bit of a stir because, you know, they couldn't get in and whatever. Yes. And so we ended up inventing a concert to play in a car park.
Which was like the big breakthrough, was it, in the end, or what?
It sort of was, yeah. It was a Saturday afternoon in the city centre. It was just this 4 walls and a floor and a sort of a roof. And used to put 700 people in there, and it was just wild. And people came over to see us a lot. People in the press here in London, and also some record people. And they couldn't believe what was happening, because you know, in the middle of sort of rush hour Dublin, there was this happening. It was very exciting, though.
You've chosen to stay in Dublin, Adam, haven't you, as a band, as opposed to do the Thin Lizzy and move over to London or whatever. Why's that?
I think it suits us a lot better because we're based there with sort of family and friends, and it's good to get away from the mainstream music business in many cases.
You mean it helps you retain whatever the special thing is about you two?
Yeah, it's very easy to get sucked in, sort of. If you move if we move to London, it'd be very easy. You know, we'd lose our sort of our roots are in Dublin. It'd be very easy to move here and be at, you know, where it's all happening, as they say. But we're not much interested in where it's all happening.
Do you think the music is particularly Irish then? I mean, I know you sing, there's one song, I've forgotten what it's called, that has
Dove. Yeah.
That's right, with an Irish title. Is there an Irish quality to what you do?
I think inevitably there must be. Whether or not it's a very, very strong flavour, it's difficult to predict, but we like to include as much of our background and our country as possible, obviously. I mean, we don't like to deny our roots or whatever.
Yes. Interestingly, you hit, in sort of big terms, first in America before you did in Britain, I think.
Yeah, that was odd.
Why was that?
I don't know. I think it's because we went over and we toured, you know, and we showed people who we were face to face, and they weren't used to that. Radio over there can be quite conservative, so in order to get plays, we played virtually in the radio stations, and then when they saw that it was good, they started to play us, and we got a very strong radio action.
You certainly succeeded, where say the Boomtown Rats and the Thin Lizzy people just failed, you know.
Yeah.
They never broke through that.
Yeah, it's the live thing, you see. They like that sort of give on stage, and we gave everything every night for about 3 months. We toured the US everywhere, and it was successive successes.
Yeah, the album Boy has become a classic LP. I think most people regard it now as a classic. You're having to follow it up.
I do.
Yes, now you're having the problem of following it up. Is it a problem? Was it a strain to have to maintain what you'd created there?
No, not really, because we never felt obliged to come up with another Boy. Whatever we do in terms of integrity as regards writing, we don't feel typecast to do anything in a particular vein. So getting a new record together was quite exciting, because Boy, well, it's a year old now, and some of the songs are even older, and the chance to get down and write new songs and record them was great.
If Fire is a hint as to the way you're moving, it sounds a bit grittier than Boy to me. It's lost a bit of that sort of ethereal
thing. We were trying to get in Fire sort of cinema type sound, sort of Panavision. That's why we
Panaural sound.
you could say that. Why we're working with Steve Lillywhite, because that's the sort of sound we wanted. And on the new LP, which was in October, we're going to try and combine that sort of widescreen type sound with the sort of, on the other hand, a more raw sound. So there should be the two elements of Boy, both progressed.
The album called October, right? Coming out in October?
How did you know that? Nobody's supposed to know that.
Sneaky, all right. Well, we won't tell anybody in that case. That's the main thing.
It's in a leak somewhere.
I gather that... Shush, before you beat me up, tell me about the tours, because you're doing a British tour, I gather, in the autumn.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's very important. I mean, this is where we learned to play in Britain. So I think we should come back here. I mean, really, this is where we started. You can't really tour in a big way in Ireland, and last year when we came over here, we played from the lowest of lows, sort of back room in Manchester, to, as the year went on, to selling out the Lyceum or whatever, and then the Hammersmith Palais, whatever. But that's why we want to come back here. This is where we learned to play.
The triumphant return of U2.
Oh,
Thank you very much indeed, Bono and Adam.
Yeah, all right.